Hello everybody, First Month is here with this final conclusion about, or after actually the test of this knife, SR1 Lite drop point, cold steel of course. After the in-use test in forest, I hope you've seen that already. So this is still untouched blade. So, sorry, that was my fault. So pretty sharp, I believe it's, yes, it is actually. I want to slice myself, but yes, yet it's shaving. So the problem was generally with the loose blade after the very hard batoning. So absolutely yes, I shouldn't done it. To be honest, I was very worried about the knife, and I will be probably worried about some fixed blades. So that was very hard. The knife survives, that's very important, with no problems on the blade, on the edge, somewhere on the scales. Even I did some hits, let's say, with the batoning stick to the very end to use this one. You've seen that, I hope. So the problem with the blade loose, and if you remember, there was the problem with the gap in between. So I yesterday when I came back, I decided, okay, I have to do something with that. So it was not just only I took this Torx 15 to lose it and simply, tied it up. So what I did, I went to the other side. I actually disassembled the knife, and what I found, I tell you right now. You know what's this one? This is the Teflon washer from this. But there were two on one side and one on the other side, so three together. So that, and it was on that side with the lifted liner, steel liner. So I believe the problem, what I said, was it couldn't be tied up enough because there were simply two washers, so it makes more space there. And because of course, if you don't tie it really the blade, because somebody want to lose it, like you can open in one hand, okay. So but I tied it up to not open in one hand. I mean with a swing of wrist. I simply must do it in a standard way with the thumb stud. So I disassembled the knife, cleaned that locks, and took out the third washer, as you can see, and tied it up. Actually, what I found when I came home, when I tried to tie it up, it was really loose. There were, I don't know how many full rounds of the screw I did, but it was really, let's say 2, 3, something like that. So it was really loose, not just a bit. So that's why the blade was, after the batoning, was really shaking. So what I did, of course, I cleaned that. As I said, I tied it up. Not the blade, as you can see, it's still after that. It's just used by WD-40, but not by water. But anyway, everything is just fine. There's no movements, nothing like that now. Even as I said, it's tight. And one thing for you, I can recommend it for you, because what I found, not only on this knife, and I'm mostly worried about the pivot, how it's gonna lose. So simply, you use the knife, and sometimes when you let's say do the hard things with it, like chopping, I mean now, because that makes more vibrations, which makes the pivot loose. Okay, standardly I want to do it in this way. What I did is actually nothing that much clever. See that what is there? What I add is that spring, I think I said spring washer, I hope I said it. So this is steel spring washer. Yes, you see that spring washer exactly on the sides. I don't know the size, guys. I can't tell you because I bought it. I got many of these small for my sheets and these, so I said, oh, this one is absolutely okay with this. So if you tie it up with the pivot screw, I put it in that way. Then you avoid the losing. I mean, really avoid it. Or I didn't say it can't happen, but it won't be so often. That's important. What you sacrifice is the pivot is above the surface, around 2.5 millimeters, as you can see. But because the flat part, I mean the full wideness of the screw is only 1 millimeter above, and then we go the angle like this one. I don't know how we call it, kind of rounded, I would say. This one, that it doesn't bother you in any way. So see, I'm out of it. So if I grab it in this way, maybe I touch it with the index now, but there's no problem. So this is what I recommend to everyone. And of course, because I expect the Tanto version, I'm wondering if that will be the same problem here, or was just sometimes happen, understand. But definitely what I will add the spring, I say washer, I hope to say the correct way, that spring thing here to make it better for stability, let's say. But after that, there is no problem. The knife is locking. It's more tight now, as I said, because I want it in that way. By the way, see the centering. To be honest, the blade doesn't have any much space up and down to go, because as you can see, the thickness, it's really there, because it's what separates it is just the thickness of the washer. Okay, final thing, don't button these kind of the coniferous, because they can be dangerous, really. So this one was, I believe it was large, but over 30 years old, because I counted a lot, but never happened to me. But now, you know, everybody learning. And one last thing what I want to say is, when you chop with this one, this is hell for your pinky, or maybe even the ring finger, because the vibrations when it goes that. Interesting is, you know, when you see maybe you've seen that Voyager XL chopping, when I did the test, there are full aluminum liners plus the Griff X liners on that, and there were not that problem. So it's problem of this material only. So there is nothing what consumes somehow the vibrations, and you got everything in your fingers, and that's really unpleasant. So if you have to chop with the knife, use gloves and simply not do it, or chop small things which you can chop with 2, 3, maybe even one swing, and then there is no problem. But when you go for something, the hardwood, especially when it, ow, that's not exactly what I want. Anyway, thank you very much. Very good knife. I recommend it for the money. After the very hard test, you will see what it survives. So now with a spring washer on that, I'm happy with that. Have a nice time. Bye.